Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Supergirl, specifically episode 409, titled Elseworlds, Part 3, which appeared on a special night, Tuesday, December 11th, 2018, on the CW. I'm recording roughly half an hour after the episode is aired. So, huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, and then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen. So, take a moment to remind yourselves of those. I don't usually do videos of Supergirl, definitely not as often as the other TV shows I cover, but because it is part of the crossover event, why not? So here we go. I'm going to try to do this in 20 minutes, so let's start the clock and let's begin with what happened at this episode. So timeline-wise, this continues straight off from where Part 2 had ended on Arrow 709, and that is with newly written criminals Barry and Oliver running into Black Suit Superman. So there's that episode reminder. Again, this is the final part of the 3-part crossover. So we get the finale of that there. Also, this is the mid-season finale for Supergirl. So there's that. The villains of the episode are mainly Dr. John Deegan, who has taken the form of Superman. So he's the one in the black suit, as well as the Monitor, who is still the one behind all this reality written because as a test. For the people of Earth 1. So there's that. So, huge episode breakdown, or storylines, if you will. I pretty much pinpointed 3 of them. The first one being getting reinforcements, the second one being breaking free, and the third one fighting for the Book of Destiny. So with the first storyline, pretty much focuses on Barry and Oliver trying to recruit a criminal Cisco to help them breach over to Earth 38 to get Clark back to help him counteract Deegan's version of Superman. With storyline number 2, with Breaking Free, we get Kara, who's stuck in the pipeline, and she's trying to convince Alex, who works at the newly written Star Labs, to side with her and fight against Deegan to help her fix reality. And with the third storyline, with Fighting for the Book, we get it's both versions of Superman, so both Deegan and Clark are able to open the book, and they're both struggling to rewrite reality and have their versions stick. During this, though, the identities of Green Arrow, the Flash, and Supergirl have been restored to their proper people. So there's that. During all of this, though, Oliver actually confronts the Monitor, and he pretty much tries to change the destinies of Barry and Kara, who, according to the book, are supposed to end a very fiery end. So there's that. We also do see in the end Brainy, John Jones, and Lois Lane from Earth 38 breaching over to help with the fight against with Deegan. The last moments of the episode, though, is really Oliver getting a call from Batwoman about Deegan claiming he has a new friend at Arkham Asylum, and then this new friend, who's the one in the gold mask, I'm assuming, is claiming about how that things have been set up that the world will live and then sooner they will fall into destruction or something like that. I don't know, but that's not the main part. Main part is that the final credits actually don't go into the Supergirl logo. It goes into the coming fall 2019, and then it flips to Crisis on Infinite Earths. So we're going to deal with the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline from the comics in next year's crossover event from the looks of it. So I guess this one was meant to tee off next year's, which was pretty bold of them. So I'll leave it at that. Tidbit-wise, though, there's a bunch of them that I took note of. They kind of mixed in a modge podge of things between the 3 storylines. But first one being, the Book of Destiny only revealed the lives of Earth 1 residents. That this is what Deegan revealed to Kara, because he said he opened the book and he kind of knew everything about everyone, but it was Kara and Clark that remained a mystery to Deegan because they were not mentioned in the book. He said it was as if you didn't exist. So he only knows about Kara and Clark because of their involvement with the Amazo robot, from the looks of it. And then when he re-envisioned the world, he copied what he knew of Kara's powers and then just gave him Superman's face. I guess or he did notice what Superman did and then just copied him in general. So there's that. Also, it seems that the Book of Destiny had rewritten the realities of everyone in Earth 1. And what the thing that had me questioning was the fact that Alex Danvers is included in this. James Olsen is included in this. Alex works at the new version of Star Labs. James works as one of Cisco's criminal head honchos. So either this had me struggling because either it was these two, because he had mentioned something about how like the Book of Destiny is funny with like doing little like not like twisting things around. So I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if this Alex and James that we were seeing were Earth 1 them, or if it was actually Earth 38 version of them, and they had somehow got dragged into it. But the more I watched the episode, I'm leaning towards it was their Earth 1 counterparts that we were seeing. So there is that. I mean, it does make sense because like it's not like Kara and Clark who actually came from another planet and they landed on a different version of Earth, right? So it just so happens that the Earth 1 or the Earth Universe 1 versions of Clark and Kara just didn't land on Earth 1, right? It could be possible that Krypton 1 never exploded, so that's possibly there. Therefore, they never interacted with Alex 1 and James 1. It's so confusing when I talk about it like that, and doppelgangers and stuff. But anyways, duly note the fact that Diggle, Cisco, and Caitlin are the only ones to appear in all 3 crossover parts, aside from Barry, Oliver, and Kara. And Deegan, because he's supposed to be the villain, so he's supposed to. So only 6 characters we know and love have appeared in all 3 parts. So there's that. We do see Brainy at the end, and he did make a comment of being honored to fight Amazo, who had just copied Superman's powers. He lit up at the idea of fighting to that magnitude. So there's that. We do see Lois praising Kara's article to Clark about her Aliens in National City piece. We also got Clark and Lois announcing that they're leaving for Argo City to raise their firstborn child that Lois is currently pregnant with. And then shortly afterward, Clark proposes to Lois in the Fortress of Solitude. So there's that. Last scene of the episode I did mention was Oliver getting a call from Batwoman about Deegan, claiming that he has another friend in Arkham Asylum that could be trouble for them. So there's that. But moving on to most shocking moment of the episode. Initially, right off the bat, the fact that John Deegan turned himself into the black suit Superman. I was not expecting that. I really thought maybe this was like Earth 1 version of Clark, or like I said, Universe 1 version of Clark. But the fact that he actually changed himself was a shock. And they did it in like the intro monologue too, so at least they cut to the chase for that part. But I gotta say, Tyler did a fantastic job playing both versions of Superman. So that was pretty cool there. Another shocking moment was the fact that Gary from the Legends of Tomorrow did a cameo in Cisco's little criminal bar scene thing. And Gary's the bartender, and he's a fan of the Trigger Twins, and he just still seemed like himself. And it was just fantastic. I mean, the Legends was not supposed to be part of the crossover event, but Gary still showed up. So it's like, I truly appreciated that, and that was just so funny. So there is that. But moving on to top 3 favorite moments. First one, I think, would have to be the doppelganger battle between Superman and Superman. I just like all the technical aspects that had to go into that. I mean, like, Tyler had to do like double the work just to do one version and then another version, and then just to see it come out the way it did. Plus, also, it's impressive to see how both versions of the character utilize their power sets, or their sets of powers, I should say, and then just how the fight goes about, and then just see because where their morals lie, because like one is really based on like protecting heroes, the other was just saving himself type of thing. So it was really great fight to see. I mean, we definitely don't get anything like that with Supergirl. I mean, they kind of had it where there was 2 versions of Kara's at one point. There is supposed to be another where there's 2 versions of Kara's now in season 4, but they've completely sidestepped that one at the moment. I've only seen Russia Kara twin twice now, 3 times now this season, in like the end credits. But I'm expecting that fight scene between the two Karas, so I'm waiting for that. But anyways, I'm getting off topic there. But another favorite of mine is Barry and Oliver once again. I love these crossovers because we get to see more of their dynamic with each other. And I really got and they truly do seem like brothers, especially in this episode. A lot of the times Barry kept turning to Oliver for like guidance, like, are we good? What do we do next? Or like, can we handle this? And like, if something was too tough and like Barry felt like he couldn't handle it, Oliver's like, you can do this, just push through it type thing. It really looked like Barry was like the little brother to Oliver's big brother type thing. So I thought that was pretty cool. Another thing I like was them trying to be the Trigger twins. It was just so funny. Like, Oliver's at ease with this. Like, yeah, this is what I have to do. You just keep pushing to survive. And Barry's like, I feel bad being bad. He's like, I feel like I'm going to throw up. It's like he has a physical reaction to pretending to be bad, and it's just like, it's funny, and it's like, I don't feel so good being bad type thing. It was too funny for that too. And then seeing them go to the bar to try to get Cisco's help, and then having them encounter Gary and all that, and trying to play off the being bad. And then like even Barry was scared, surprised that like all the criminals in the bar were like afraid of them, and then Oliver's like, just go with it. And like Barry's like just done like they're scared of us type of thing. So it was pretty funny there. And they did like the fact at the end of the episode they did get a drink together. I think they did that in the last crossover event together. I wish they got a hug, but Oliver did make a point that like, you already forced 2 hugs out of me for once, no hug. I wish they did. But it was great to have not only them sharing a drink together, but also sharing like what they'll miss most or what they've learned about each other when living in each other's lives type of thing. So I do appreciate that as well. Another favorite of mine, it was just like a visual thing, and that is Killer Frost. We see in this episode, it's just Killer Frost. It's not Caitlin becoming Killer Frost or vice versa. It's Killer Frost in the lead for her. And I just love the look of her, their hairstyle and everything. We always see her hair down, but I just love that it was braided back. It was shorter from the looks of it. It was a little more crisp. It was more business-like. And it's like, I love Killer Frost the way she looks now, but just to see her done up in a different way too, I love it. I wish we could see more different hairstyles for her like that, because like every time she emerges, Caitlin always has her hair down, so it's like that's the only style. So I like that we got to see her wearing a different look. So there's that. I also like seeing Crime Boss Cisco, or Mr. Ramon. I just love his attitude. His snark is more like a did I give you permission to do this type of thing. It's like, who told you could touch me type of thing. It's just more like, if you look at me the wrong way, it's like, I'm gonna smack you type of thing. It's just like his whole mannerism was just, it was very different from Cisco, but yet he owned it type thing. I mean, like, it was just fun because like his attitude is just like, it was like, don't mess with this type of Cisco, right? So it's just like, it was fun to see him in that. And we always see different versions of Cisco, whether it's doppelgangers, whether it's rewritten timelines, realities now. It's always been fun, so I love that. So there's that. Another favorite moment I have to go with is Oliver defending Barry and Kara to the Monitor, and how he was claiming that they are the heroes that the Monitor needs to save the world from what's coming, not him, even though I hate that Oliver degrades himself. But it was great to see Oliver speaking out about how he believes Barry and Kara are the heroes they need, how they inspire people to see the hope in everything. It was just like, it was a great moment for Oliver to be in that confrontation. I'm a little worried about what was discussed after, when the Monitor asked, what do you think needs to happen to maintain the balance that Oliver was requesting to be changed. So I did like that Oliver went in to confront this godlike being. So there is that. But let's move on to top 3 peeved moments. I think the only really peeve I can truly think about was the fact that the idea that Clark is leaving Argo City. It just means that we won't see him for a very long time on Supergirl, which kind of sucks, because I mean, like, we only really saw him a few times in season 2 and then in this crossover. So it's been a while, and if he's going to be gone for at least maybe a year, it's like, maybe he'll show up in time for the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. But like, that means like it's going to be no cameos or no like fly-ins for him on Supergirl. So it's like, I'm a little peeved by that, because like I do like when he pops in and then like you kind of get a bit more of like that family unit, or at least the Kryptonian family unit between him and Kara. But there's that. Another peeve was the fact that, again, you could tell that this was a Supergirl episode. I still wish that this crossover was more seamless in its parts, like it was with the Crisis of Earth X crossover last year, where you couldn't really tell which part is specifically meant for what show. But that was like a more streaming through the parts peeve. But moving on to what we'll remember most when I look back on this episode, Evil Superman, part 3 of the crossover event, pretty much. The finale, if you will, for it. So there's that. But moving on to random questions, though, I do have a lot of them now. First one being the symbols inside the Book of Destiny. Were they meant to be the symbols from the Speed Force language, or are they meant to be another type of language itself? So there's that. Another question is, if Deegan didn't know about Clark or Kara without meeting them, then how was Alex or James pulled into the Book of Destiny's new reality? I think I mentioned this before when I first brought them up, that it's possible that the Alex and James in this episode were the Earth One versions of themselves. So I maybe answer my own question there, but it's still there just in case I could be wrong and someone else can clarify that for me. But next question was, did Oliver make a deal with the Monitor to change Barry and Kara's fate of them speeding around in opposite directions to slow down time? Because they were meant to burn up in the atmosphere and burn up during that process, but for some reason they just silently didn't. So I'm wondering if Oliver made a deal. I mean, it felt like a deal type of move when he asked balance had to be restored. What do you suggest should change to rectify the change that Barry wanted to be made for their fate? And since I'm all used to deals on Supernatural being made to save another, I'm a little worried about what the Monitor wanted from Oliver to make their destinies different. So that's a question to concern there. Another question is, or a clarification, I guess, is, did Oliver shoot the Book of Destiny and that's why it exploded? Or did Oliver shoot one of his trick arrows that caused it to explode and kind of blow back on Deegan? Plus, also, how does him shooting the book destroy its power? Like, that didn't make any sense for me either. I guess that's also a peeve too, in a sense. But there's that. And last question, does Oliver know that Kate Kane is Batwoman? Because it's obvious that she knows that he's Oliver Queen is the Green Arrow, right? Because it's public knowledge now. But I'm wondering if he knows vice versa, or if he even knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Or I guess not, because he thought Batman was a myth, right? So I always thought he knew. Always thought that he knew that Bruce Wayne was Batman, and he just made all these little hints. But then, like, for him to come out saying like he thinks Batman is a myth, that kind of threw me as well too. So I'm wondering which is it. But anyways, let's move on to predictions very quickly. Well, considering this is the mid-season finale, they don't have any promos for Supergirl, Arrow, or The Flash unless you go on the CW Stream app, which I'm in a different country, so I don't have access to it, which sucks. But Supergirl returns with episode 410 on Sunday, January 20th, 2019. Arrow returns with 710 on Monday, January 21st, 2019. And The Flash returns the week before them with episode 510 on Tuesday, January 15th, 2019. So it's going to be action-packed and everything. We're going to get right into the back half of the seasons. So that's going to be quite something there. For I'll do a little bit of each. But for Supergirl, I'm hoping we actually get to see more of what came about of Kara's twin in Russia that came from her confrontation with Rain in the season 3 finale. I'm waiting for that. I've been waiting for that the whole time. That was what had me pumped for this season, and like we barely had any screen time about that. So I'm waiting for that. For Arrow, I'm waiting for more information about the new Green Archer, who's supposedly Oliver's half-sister. Spoiler alert. I mean, I'm pretty sure her name is in the title of episode 10. But I just want to see backstory and how that's possible for her to fit in with that storyline. Who's her mom and all that. Also, I want to know more about the flash forwards that were going on, so I'm very excited about that. So there's that as well. With the Flash, we just found out that Nora is working with the Reverse Flash, so I can't wait to see how Barry reacts to finding that out. Can't wait to see how they're going to stop Cicada, whether or not he truly is going to be the remaining big bad, considering they almost had him in the previous episode, so that's going to be a question there. Still waiting for the Speed Force symbols to come back up again and actually mean something more. So there's that. I'm also waiting for the previous timeline changes to be brought up. So there's that as well. There's the timer. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much all that I can think of for the 3 shows. Yes? No? I think so. I'll definitely do a video for 710 and 510 for Arrow and the Flash. Again, I don't normally do Supergirl, so you won't really get a video from me next time unless something like really pressing happens and I really need to talk about it, like I did with the season 3 finale. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, nothing else is coming to mind right now. So yeah, what'd you guys think of part 3 of the crossover event? What'd you guys think will happen next in the back halves of these 3 shows? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts, theories, and opinions about what you think will happen next. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all fun in one place. Go check that out. If you want, check my WordPress account. Link for that is down below. Everything I post online is posted to that site as well. More organized, more detailed. It's a work in progress though as well, so please keep that in mind as well. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience, and for you Arrowverse fans out there, have yourself a happy holiday, and have yourself a happy new year. And I hope you come back to see what I have to say about the mid-season returns for our Arrowverse shows. So until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.